So I did a video where I used the Goodreads Choice Awards to help me plan a TBR for 2026. Let me show you the official list. Welcome back to Reading Sprints and Chai Sips. I am Sasha Bonet. It's 2026. What's funny is I haven't messed up 2026 yet. You know how sometimes you write down something in the new year and you're still putting the year previous? I haven't done that yet. Knock on wood. There's no wood around me. But yeah, so I think I was ready. I think that just means I was ready to usher in the new year. But I have seen the Goodreads Choice Awards. I've paid attention to them, I should say, more in the last, I want to say 2 years. So 2025, 2024, mostly a little bit in 2023. And I've noticed that they are so unserious. So do I participate? Sure. If I've read something, I will vote on the book that I've read. However, I noticed this year that a lot of the books that were on the 2025 Goodreads Choice Awards list, I had physically on my shelves. And I haven't read them, and there was a lot. But I also realized that I read a lot this year. Usually in the Goodreads Choice Awards, I don't read anything. I'm like, I never heard of that. Never read that. But this year, but in 2025, there were so many books that I actually did read. That was shocking. But let's get into the books that I saw that was on there that I had on my shelves on my physical TBR. Because again, 100 books of my own physical TBR needs to be read this year in 2026. Of my own books. Of my own books. Okay, let's keep that in mind. So these are the books that were on the 2025 Goodreads Choice Awards list that I physically own that I'm going to try to read in 2025. We're going to do it. No try. No trying here. We're going to do it. Let's get into it. This book is heavy as hell. You have Dan Brown, The Secret of Secrets. I have read all of the books in the Robert Langdon series leading up to this one. This is the 6th book, if I'm not mistaken. And I enjoy the Robert Langdon series. It may not be for everyone, as everyone calls it a dad series, like a series that you would buy for your dad that he would enjoy. I guess I'm a dad because I did and do enjoy the series. This is the next book in it, and I cannot wait to see what Robert Langdon is into now. It says the world's most celebrated thriller writer returns with a stunning new novel, a propulsive, twisty, thought-provoking masterpiece that will entertain readers as only Dan Brown can do. I will be the judge of that, but I do think that I will be entertained. Next is Good Dirt, and this is by Charmaine Wilkerson. I read Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkerson, and I enjoyed that one. I gave it a 4-star. I still haven't watched the show. Let me know if you've watched the show and if the show is good. But also let me know if you read the book as well and if you thought that was good and if they coincide. But I have not watched the show. And I kind of do, but I kind of don't. But Good Dirt by Charmaine Wilkerson. That's why I picked up this one, because I read that one. I enjoyed it. It says sometimes the only way forward is to look back. And it does seem like Charmaine Wilkerson is one of those writers who either likes to tell the story in dual timelines or flashbacks. So this might be that as well. I don't have a problem with flashbacks if the flashbacks give us the information we need for the rest of the story. Don't just give me flashbacks because DNF. Y'all know how I am. 25 good percent and then it's a DNF. So hopefully Charmaine Wilkerson can give me what she gave me in the last book, but make it different. I'm here for that. Our Vicious Oaths by N.E. Davenport. I've read Nia Davenport, which is N.E. Davenport, but I guess when she's not writing fantasy, she's Nia. And when she's writing fantasy, she's N.E. And I love that. And when I read her as Nia Davenport, when I read this book, I gave it 4.5. It was really good. It was short. It was a sci-fi thriller mystery YA. And this is, I believe, a YA romantasy. with Faye. And I can't wait to read this one either. I haven't read her in her fantasy bag, but we're going to read her in her fantasy bag this year. I've talked about this book, I think, twice on my channel already. Tia Williams, Audrey, and Bash are just friends, because I did not realize that this was like an interconnected, kind of like a part 2 to 7 Days in June. Didn't know that, and I should have, but I didn't. So this is our main character in 7 Days in June. This is her daughter. And her daughter was a hoot and a riot, I will say, in 7 Days in June. I loved her daughter to death. And it seems like I'm going to like her daughter as well in this one. The thing is, I did start to read this in 2025. I got 14 pages in. I got 14 pages in and soft DNF'd it, because the main character that we loved in 7 Days in June, her mom, I don't like her. I already don't like her. And I don't like when authors mess with things that don't need to be messed with. But I'm going to give it a try, because I've read, three books. I've read 3 books by Tia Williams, and I do enjoy her writing. This will be the 4th. I'm hoping by the end of this, I still like 7 Days in June's, main FMC. We'll see. We shall see, but by the beginning of this book, it's not looking good. So, A Drop of Corruption by Robert Jackson Bennett and Anna and Den Mystery. This is book 2. This was on the Goodreads Choice Awards for 2025. But I cannot read this unless I read this one, which is The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett. So I added this book onto this 2026 TBR because of this book. So both of these books have to be read, but this one specifically in order for me to get to this one. But if we start with just The Tainted Cup, because we don't want to spoil ourselves by reading anything about a drop of corruption. But it says, a Holmes and Watson style detective duo take the stage in this fantasy with a mystery twist from the Edgar-winning, multiple Hugo-nominated Robert Jackson Bennett. That's all I need. I don't like to go into stories too informed. If I'm too informed, then I can see things coming. I like to be surprised, even with the most mundane plot twists. I like to be surprised. So we will be reading this series this year. Next is Julie Clark, The Ghostwriter. I love a book about authors and writers and ghostwriters. I love a book with a literary artist. This one says, from the best-selling author of The Last Flight and The Lies I Tell. Never read either one of those. June 1975, the Taylor family shatters in a single night when 2 teenage siblings are found dead in their home. The only surviving sibling, Vincent, never shakes the whispers and accusations that he was the one who killed them. Decades later, the legend only grows as his career as a horror writer skyrockets. This is going to be entertaining, I hope. But this reminds me of, if you don't know, if you've ever watched that true crime podcast, and Simon always says in that true crime podcast, never write down your crimes. This sounds like that. Never write down your crimes. And if someone is thinking that you have committed a crime, don't write a book like a certain someone that says, well, if I would have done it, this is how it would have looked. Never do that. Never do that. But also, if you deserve to be in jail, do exactly that. Next, we have Hazel Thorne by C.G. Drews. This is a book I'm looking forward to because I've heard so much about C.G. Drews as an author, not really going into depth about his work, but everyone has said, oh my God, I love his writing. I want to love his writing too. I want to be part of the cool kids who love his writing as well. So I picked this one up from Book of the Month and I can't wait to read it. I am getting into, as of last year, my thriller and my horror bag a little bit more. I'm reading more thrillers and more horror books. So I'm interested in all of whatever is popular at the moment. What is everyone getting into? But this one says there is something wrong with the garden. What's wrong with the garden? I mean, obviously by the cover, a lot is wrong with the damn garden. Next is Red City by Marie Lu. Power always has a price, doesn't it? doesn't it? But this one says, alchemy and ambition, power and perfection, love and lies. Welcome to Angel City. Don't let it break your heart. It will. It will break their heart. We know it. When you win the game of power, who do you lose? Alchemy is the hidden art of transformation. It sounds interesting, but never ever do these sprayed edges again. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. That was unnecessary. I don't know if I can't wait to read it, but I did pick it for a reason and it was on the list. So I want to see if I agree. The Memory Collectors by Deet Meserve. I have never read a book by Deet Meserve. From what I understand, it's supposed to be like a sci-fi book, a sci-fi thriller. But let's see. 4 strangers time travel to the past and find themselves stuck on the day all their lives were changed in this stunning speculative mystery. So it's a speculative mystery. From award-winning film and television producer Deet Meserve. Perfect for fans of Before the Coffee Gets Cold, which I've never read. Wrong Place, Wrong Time, which I have read. Loved it. And The Paradox Hotel, which I haven't read. So this seems to be right up my alley with Wrong Place, Wrong Time, because I did like that one. So we'll see where this one goes. Look at my aardvark ears. Crazy. But Blood on Her Tongue by Joanna Van Veen. I heard this is unhinged and crazy. And I don't know if this is going to be a book I actually enjoy because I do not like body horror. My dislike for body horror is determined by what kind of body horror it is, because I did read Victorian Psycho and I enjoyed that one. I laughed, I was confused, I was all in. But when it came to Our Wives Under the Sea, I was not all in. So I don't know how far this will go. This probably just has a lot of blood. I don't know. It says, I'm in your blood and you are in mine. I don't know what that means. I'm ready. We'll see. Play Nice by Rachel Harrison. Home is where the horror is. I've said this before. I do have a love for haunted houses, but I think it's more in movies. I've tried it several times in books and it just doesn't hit the right way. They're not bad, but they could be more. And I just never get the more. So I'm still looking for a haunted house book that will give me the more that I'm looking for. So I picked this one up and it looks good. It looks like it's going to give good, and I want it to be good. It doesn't have to be great, but it can be good. It's just waiting for you to come home. The demon. Let it be a demon. I want it to be a demon. Don't ask me why I want it to be a demon, but I do. I want it to be a demon. I don't want it to be ghost, but I want it to be a demon. A bloodthirsty demon. Last but not least is S.A. Cosby's King of Ashes. And this one, I also don't really know what it's about, but I know it involves dead bodies. A morgue? Maybe it's a morgue. A morgue family business. A family-owned morgue business. Whatever. A son returning home, a dangerous debt, secrets about to ignite, and a family about to be consumed by flames. That does not tell me whether it involves a morgue, but I still think it involves a morgue. So maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But I heard S.A. Cosby is a great writer, like a writer of this generation, and I can't wait to read this. And I do have another S.A. Cosby book. All the books fell. I do have another S.A. Cosby book, Blacktop Wasteland, and I need to read that one as well. But I can't wait to read this. So that is my 2026 set in stone TBR that I'm going to fit into some videos. I definitely will be reading them, a lot of them off camera. But if there are any books that I've mentioned that you want to see specifically in a video, like you specifically want my thoughts on, leave it in the comments and I'll read it for you. I will definitely read it for you and put it in a video so that you can hear my thoughts on it. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be reading this year. Those are only 13 books. My goal is 100 books this year, and that is 13 of the books that will be added to that list. I still got to make up a good, 87? Help me. Anyway, if you stayed around this long, put this emoji. Just put it in there. Put this emoji because wow. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will definitely see you all in the next one. Bye.